When I was younger, I got carded for drinks when I go out to bars, restaurants, etc. And actually, that happened till I was probably in my 30s. Now, I get carded just to get a senior's discount at the grocery store or the drugstore or wherever it happens to be. So today, I kind of want to talk about things that I either miss or that are a pain in the butt as you get older, or things I don't miss. Just the basic changes that I don't know, maybe I just didn't expect or want or I feared. Um, Looking back, I can see some things that are super great and other things that I think, oh man, I wish I was 25 again. Sometimes I think that a little more often than I probably should. So I do have notes just as point takers for a couple of things. So if you see me look down, that's why I'm doing it. But I'm trying not to edit this. I want this to be smooth for everybody. Um, Glasses. So there's a whole outline thing. I feel as you get older, you almost feel tethered to things um, that you that you never used to feel tethered to. Like for me, my glasses. I never wore glasses. I got glasses probably the first time I was told I had to wear glasses. I was probably about 43, and I remember being devastated. Like you don't even know how devastated. I was super devastated, and they would be like, "Well, everybody your age wears glasses." I'm like, "Yeah, but no." And my son wears glasses and he wore them from a very young age. And I kept saying, well, that's different. My son's used to wearing those glasses. It's part of his identity. It was not part of mine. So I struggled immensely with glasses. In fact, I think I ignored my prescription for probably a year before I actually said, oh, okay, now I've got to do it. So glasses, that was probably my first huge sign that you're getting old, Elizabeth. And I certainly did not like that. Um, I would like to say probably the next thing that I find now that I don't like, and it's a kind of a double-edged sword, is the telephone. Sorry, telephone. I guess we don't call them telephones now anymore. We call them phones, iPhones, Androids, whatever. So my iPhone. I actually find my iPhone, I mean, I love it. I use it. I'm on it all the time because I think I have ADHD or trauma brain, whichever you choose. So yeah, it's a huge part of my life. However, I miss when I don't know, I could just go outside for a walk and I didn't have a phone and nobody could call me and I didn't feel compelled to like, oh my God, do I have a text? I better answer that. Like it just that wasn't part of our life back then. Um, that's only more so in the past decade. And obviously that's probably not a product of my age because I think our current youth will end up having that now and that will still be part of their age. So maybe that's different. But for a Gen X like myself, who didn't have that, and I was an independent soul, nobody checked up on me, I didn't have helicopter parents, and I just went. And, in my 20s, like if you went out to a bar, there was no texting where you were. It was you maybe found a payphone and you put your dime in, um, and that was it. And you looked for people, you walked for blocks trying to meet up where you went. You didn't have Ubers, you didn't have all that stuff. So I find now that I actually find that an annoyance because it once again tethers me, and I miss the simplified life of not being tethered. Something that I believe our youth today probably will never ever have, and they won't understand this feeling. Um, Oh, sorry, I had to look because memory, even though that's technically not part of my video, memory, it's a fog. But that might be from health issues. Who knows? That could be age out. I'm really not sure. Probably a little bit of everything. Bladder. So that this, I think, maybe I don't know because I'm not a guy. Maybe that's more of a woman thing. After we have kids, the bladder won't. But actually, in my particular case, I can't even say it was having kids. It's probably a menopausal thing. I have no idea. But when I was pregnant, I can remember distinctly when we go to the mall, I would, make sure that we parked near an entrance where I knew it had an exit, not an exit, a washroom for me to stop at before or after. But that's because I was pregnant. And that went away. That was only, two times in my life. However, now it's the norm. You go to the bathroom before you go. You got to tinkle because you don't know how long you can manage it in the in a public washroom. I hate public washrooms. Am I alone? Like, public washrooms are gross. People are gross. So I prefer not to use them if I don't have to. So I tinkle before I go. And then when I come home, it's the mad dash to the bathroom. If I can go 2 hours, ha. So I don't know how that is for men. I don't know because I'm not a guy. So that one probably for you ladies. Maybe men. Maybe comment below if I'm out to lunch. I don't know. Um, yeah. So your body basically has you tethered. Really, the bladder. Um, Maybe even spices. That's another thing. Eating spicy food. So I used to love when I was younger, Tuesday wing night or whatever. And it was like, what was it? 10-cent wing night. I think it was 10. I actually think at some points it was 5-cent wing night. And then it went to 10 and that was big deal. But, I don't know if they still do that because, hey, I don't eat them. Um, yeah, 10-cent wing night. I would go for like, yeah, super spicy, spice that up, put it whatever you can in. Now, how much pepper is in that? That's way too much. We need to take that out. Yeah, or you know why. So the body just really does not take food quite the same way. So that's also another thing that tethers me because I'm limited to, where I can go. If I go to Mexican, I'm like, can you tone it down? Even Indian food. I love Indian food. But sometimes it can be super spicy, and that's just too much for little Lizzie now. So yeah. Oh, this is one thing I really miss, and I bet you it's probably not everybody that's gonna miss this, but when I was young one, I started very early. Like, I think I was probably 12 or 13 when I went to my very first concert. I think it was Black Sabbath or something crazy like that. And from that moment on, I was smitten with concerts. Like, I loved them. I didn't care who was there. I just loved concerts. But as I got to my early 20s, the concert levels changed. I became familiar with the mosh pits, and I love general admission and getting stuck and caught up in the crowd. Now I'd be terrified of doing that. Would probably get killed. Um, but yeah, that was something I actually miss now. I mean, I don't miss that I can sit down in like the luxury of a chair and I get unobscured viewed. Whereas, in general admission, I mean, I was a lot smaller then and I could sit on somebody's shoulders, male, female, whatever. I miss that huge. And, you know, at 58, that's not happening. Like, my body would collapse if I did something crazy like that. But I do miss it. The other thing I can't do now, I'm not sure I miss it. I did love it then. I don't know if I miss it though. Camping. So yeah, I could camp now probably if I had an RV or a hotel room. But laying flat in a sleeping bag on the ground, the thought of that, no, thank you. I tried it the last time I tried it. I want to say my youngest was probably 15, 16. She's now 26 almost. And I lasted one night and was like, heck no, I am out of here. No, no, no. It rained. I was in a tent. And I remember saying to her, I cannot believe that I loved doing this at one point. Not so much now. I think if I had, like if I was glamping, I'd be like, okay, let's try that. I should really try glamping someday. Maybe that would be okay. But no, no, no. I don't miss that. Um, the one thing I have to say that I don't miss and that I love about aging, I don't know if I love it, but whatever. It's dressing, the way we dress now. Like, when I was younger, you dress for success. You do the whole thing. You don't want anyone to see your acne, your blemishes. You don't want, like, there was a time, like, I have a scar here. I've had it maybe 2 months now because I had surgery. There was a time I would have been, whew, you know, I would have been wearing the full turtleneck and I would have cared what people thought. I would have thought, okay, everybody's staring at me. I would have worried about dressing so that if I went out somewhere, I've been single since my youngest was, maybe a month old, maybe younger. So every time I dressed, I always dressed like, you never know, you might meet that guy. And if you look like a frump, it won't happen. Now I'm like, whatever. Like, I seriously don't care. I'm not dressing to impress anyone, not even myself, I might add. Um, like, if I want to go out and get my mail and I'm not wearing a bra, oh well, that's just how it happens. Now, I do draw the line at going out to Walmart in PJs because I just can't do that. I know we see a lot of that with the PJ bottoms. It's not me. I don't think I could ever be that, but that's just me. Other people do it. Sometimes I think it's cute. Sometimes I think, whoa, but it depends, I guess, on the PJs, and how you're wearing them. But that I don't quite go that far. I'm not quite that liberated yet. Um, but there's no performing necessary. I'm not trying to catch a man. Uh, I'm always startled sometimes if I do, and surprisingly, sometimes I do get hit on, and I find that very weird, um, because I'm not prepared for it. In your 50s, I'm not prepared for it. I've been single since I was, I want to say, 32, maybe. I think I've dated twice in that time because I don't care to. That's another thing. I'm okay with not dating. That wasn't part of my list, but I'm going to put that down. I'm super okay with it. I like that I can do what I want to do when I want to do. I do miss certain things, like, because as I get older, I think, oh, maybe I won't have a companion, but I'm okay with it. So if it ever does happen, I'll be good. I'll be better than I ever was before because I'm okay with myself. And that took probably 30 years to get to. Yeah. And when you know that, right, women? Um, but yeah, I think that's the basics that I can think of right off the top of my head. I am sure there's going to be a part two, maybe even a part three, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm sure some of you guys can relate. Maybe not to not wearing a bra. Well, hey, maybe you can. I don't know. Um, but yeah, that's about it. The one thing I will have to say that I really, really don't miss at all, and I think women out there can relate. Don't hate on me, because I mean, some people think it's a blessing. I was not that person. I really don't miss that I don't have a period anymore. Holy hell. I don't have to worry about anything to do with that. I don't have to plan trips around it, plan uh, emotional ups and downs around it. Nothing. You know, you know. So I believe that every woman out there, as I say this, is going, amen, sister, because yuck, it's gone. Stay tuned. I do believe there will be a part two, three, four, five, six. Who knows? If you have any ideas of things that maybe I'm missing, because sometimes when you think about it, it doesn't come to you, let me know. Put them in the comments, and tell me what things that you maybe hate about getting older or you love about getting older. Either way, it's fun to think about. Sad too, but mostly fun. Have a great day. Bye.